Hey guys, welcome to MIGMATIS Golf, the channel dedicated to obviously improving, but thinking slightly outside the box. Ways that you can improve that aren't conventionally taught. I firmly believe that a lot of conventional golf instruction is lacking. Not that it's bad, it's just lacking, doesn't really take advantage of a lot of tips and tricks, training aids, etc., for you to get better. So that's what I'm all about, and today I'm going to give you another training aid video. This one is a really small and pretty cheap one, but very, very effective. So without further ado, here it is. I don't know if you can hear this. This is the Tac Tic. Now, I'm pretty sure they didn't call it the Tic Tac because that name was taken and they get sued. So they just reversed it, Tac Tic, because it makes this sound. Okay, so if I get a bit closer, I'll show you what it is. It's basically a piece of plastic encased in some leather or faux leather with a strap that goes around your lead arm. So if you're a right-handed golfer, on your left arm, if you're a left-handed golfer, on your right arm. As you can see, it straps around my wrist. It has a little lanyard here to fit my middle finger in it. I won't describe as usual how you set this thing up. I'm not going to bore you with that. You can go and watch some other YouTube videos, figure that out. But essentially that's it, tiny little gizmo, and I'm going to go on to explain what it's used for. So, primarily, it's used to identify an incorrect wrist position at multiple points in the swing, but essentially, the critical point is impact. So, we've all heard of the dreaded flip. If you're pretty new to golf and you're wondering what the flip is, I'll explain really quickly. So, all great golfers, in order to compress the ball, in order to transfer maximum energy into the ball and use the loft of the club correctly, have a slightly bowed left wrist at impact. Flat to bowed, which means the hands are slightly ahead of the golf club as they make contact, probably with the driver. Maybe the head is in line with the hands and the arms, but most really good golfers with their irons, the hands are slightly ahead of the club head at impact, and there would be a nice flat left wrist here, which means the back of my hand is kind of in line with my forearm. Some really good players even have it slightly bowed like this. I mean, you can look at a Ben Hogan, modern day players, look at a Graham McDowell or somebody like that, and it's really bowed. So they're really leading with their hands into impact, hitting down on the ball, really compressing it. The dreaded flip is when you release the club early, mainly down to an overuse of the right hand, and the right hand moves under, and you get this bowed effect here in the wrist. Okay? You're essentially flipping at the ball, scooping at the ball. You don't want that. Now, there are many reasons why this happens, and we're not going to go through them all because, like everything in the golf swing, there could be a million different reasons why you're doing something. But what this device allows you to do is it allows you to identify if you are indeed flipping. If I was to flip the golf ball and not have this firm left wrist at impact, I would hear it down here, tac tick, tick tac, make that noise. If that's how I was moving the club through impact, I would not only feel but hear this clicking in my swing. There shouldn't be any breakdown of the wrists this way in the golf swing. You should hit the ball, and then the right hand should turn over the left hand up into your finish. And maybe up here, in your finish, it might click up here around your head somewhere, but never down here. So this is a great device for identifying if you are using the club correctly through impact. I'll show you quickly from down the line. So you come into impact, you want a nice bowed left wrist like this. You don't hear anything from this device until you get up, maybe around shoulder height, head height in the follow through, then you might hear it click because naturally your wrist bows a bit up there. The other place it's also useful for is making sure you don't bow your left wrist too much in the backswing. Now, I want to be careful with this one because there have been some great players throughout history who have cupped their wrist slightly here in their backswing, and then they reroute it or flatten out the wrist on the way through. So I don't want to discourage you completely from doing that, but generally speaking, it's always better to keep the relationship between the left, for a right-handed golfer, the left wrist and left forearm on the same plane. So if I can show you from there, as you can see, it's still a flat. If I was to have a watch on and place a pencil or a ruler through my wrist strap, it wouldn't pinch me on either side. It would just sit flat against my forearm and my wrist. That would be what's considered ideal these days. If you were to cup your left wrist, and by cupping I mean bending it so that it forms a slight scoop between your forearm and the left wrist, this thing will go tic-tac and you'll notice it. Okay, so those are the main two benefits of this puppy. Let's go through the pros and cons. Well, there are no cons. I'll start off straight away. You know, I can't think of anything bad about this device. It's not uncomfortable to wear. It's tiny. It's lightweight. The pros, therefore, are that it's pretty cheap. It's very, very portable. Okay, this takes up no space whatsoever. Gives you great feedback. And as usual, my favorite pro about any training aid is that you can hit balls with it. That's right, okay? You're probably sick of me saying this now, but it really is true. There are many training aids out there, okay? The best ones are the ones you can actually hit balls with and get feedback. Because all of the other ones, all they're doing is giving you great feedback on your practice swing. And all of our practice swings are different than our real swings because the ball messes with our brains, okay? So I'm a big fan of the training aids that you can hit balls with, and this being one of them. Okay, that's it. That's enough for the Tac Tic. Like I said, go check out the other videos for setting it up. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. You know, give me a little thumbs up, tell your friends, and go get yourself a Tac Tic. See you later, peeps.